court to God. The white man is the devil.
You see, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white man. Need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone be. Boy, ask you to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga in Fed, he up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world, it don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settle. Yeah, need the props. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the props. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world to know. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the props. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, young, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to prop. I'm step, I'm solid for show. For the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high. Got your baby pass through the fire. Ask you the prophets, that baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Plus your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
See, y'all think it's just about us in here, but this is about an oppressive, fucked up system designed to keep niggas down and shit. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. What about you, little nigga? You know about that?
Yes.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like, damn Kai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed you a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause they mama got bills. Turning to coons like Oprah and Gail. How you sell your soul just to get a little kale? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills? You can dance on a pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all created equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here got to heal? How many more caps gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to put steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that house niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light skin nigga, find me in the field. But fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Feel. Light skin nigga, you gon' find me in the field. Feel. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill, chill, yo, chill.
Prison industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot. Slave rebellion, no compliance. They just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They've awakened sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. But feel.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter? I like this little nigga.
One West, 12 tribes, UPK. Yeah. I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. Ever since a nigga was young, I knew what I wanted. Knew that we could either be hunters or with the hunted. Meaning only choice was the predators or the prey. Showed this man wherever I was, but I didn't play. Then I started spitting, set fire to every stage. Rap gave a little bit of buzz, but it didn't stay. Then I started hustling, getting at some bread. I always went broke, making sure that my niggas fed. But then I looked for loyalty, niggas, they wasn't there. The same that I shed blood for, and it wasn't fair. Well, fuck it though, turn they back on a real nigga. It's when I found UPK and I'm still with them. Drill with them, cause I've been in the field with them. Fringed up garments, rocking the shield with them. I never turn traitor, I never let my colors fly. Never get my brother's book. I ain't like that other guy, nothing like them funny groups. They just better get in line. If you in the middle, you confused, you should pick a side. Me, I must stay loyal to the king till the day I die. Am One West, here beating in my chest. Fuck all the rest, we stayed, y'all left. Suckers ran scared, had to clean up y'all mess. That's why we took over, I can see that y'all stressed. We ain't got time to worry about no hater. My life is like a movie, should come with a narrator. They gather data, they wanna see us assimilated. Marching through the streets, know we coming, you hear our cadence. All you smell is Henny and frankincense is the fragrance. Cause I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. My squad is forever. It's forever. Squad is forever. When a nigga in this mode like I get so hyped, shining blinding like a strobe light. I'm my only calm, so I battle me back and forth nights like a bullfight. I see red charge and destroy Mike. Gave me foresight, so I know that winning the war might have them all tight. Fuck their feelings, cause they the soft type. I was always taught never turn your back on your brothers. Take on any enemy, know the strength in these numbers. UPK official, and ain't no coward among us. Don't make me go and bang with them sticks like I'm a drummer. How y'all gonna run with the style that we invented? You always talk the war was wild, but you never in it. All that coulda, shoulda, woulda. I see how you try to spin it. The way my soldiers move out, you think that we got evicted. This One West in the building, we owning it while you renting. Lyrical exercise in the booth is my Planet Fitness. Words move you like calisthenics. Bars heavy, so when I bench it, I'm building up a hardcore. I flex when I'm finished. And right after a light workout, it's back to business. Group sick of UPK, cause we the illest. I got one question, will they ever stop hating? Waiting on this war so long, I'm salivating. Niggas turn bitch so strong, I call them Caitlyn. I get the green light, it's go, no hesitations. Y'all just been holding our spot like reservations. Now we back to work while you suckers still on vacation. Mixtape singles and even collaborations. They smiling in the face, but I know I see aggravation. You ain't got to hide it though, you fucking mighty cone. UPK bringing that heat, you know the fire's on. It's One West. Cause I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. It's forever. The squad is forever.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 Beach. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. I'm on my grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas, we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say, all y'all do the sweet. They all do the street. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us, hit the lead. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
One West is to raise, son, that's where I came from. That is my A1s, I'm talking day one. Rest of these niggas out here is just fake, son. Look, you can hate, son, you cannot take, son. I've been in every hood out of my state, son. Out in these streets, I'm steady blazing. Looking to cut a nigga like I'm Jason. I am the one, this is the Matrix. Going so hard that they think I'm an agent. Going so hard that they said I'm a Mason. These are the facts, though, I'm just amazing. There is no other way that I could state them. Iron my spotted, they'll never be vacant. These niggas lazy, they got complacent. They wanna level these fucking Caucasians. How the fuck we gonna rebuild our nation? You niggas feminine, go get some makeup. Sorry, but my love is only for Jacob. We had some hard days, we learned some hard ways. Always always. Just know that I pray that we get it out the dust. Only thing that I trust, knowing that my niggas gon' bust. That's thumbing up the rush, thinking that you won't get touched. Fuck when my brother get crushed, been through too much. Always come through in the clutch. Nigga just do what it does, fuck you thought shit was. Cause nigga it wasn't. Know that I do this a dozen. Always kept it 100. Niggas know I never stunning. And I keep shit running, even on the days when the pain keep coming, or a nigga fucked up and he feel like numbing. Show goes on, I just keep on drumming my fate. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Dark days with no night vision, that's why my heart is a cave and there's ice in it. Don't even trust niggas no more, Lord is my witness. Me and these niggas ain't the same, it's a slight difference. Thought a nigga had my back, now it's a knife in it. But now I'm back at the back like it's the ninth inning. Still got the backpack packed in the back of the camp van, taking any given chance to blaze on the white man. Son of Benjamin, born on the right hand, never losing grip, I understand who I am. Met a man that showed me the right path, now I'm rooted in the truth, to rule is my plan. And I can never lose sight like an exam. Sharp as iron, I was forged by fire, man. In the circle of life, how could I tire, man? I was undesired, had no one, and then I met these men and it changed how I'm living. Their words was convicting, called that a life sentence. Now I need a witness, but no, I'm not Christian. My faith in these scriptures, man, not no religion, man. It's like Tazab, and I'm with my brother Katazab. Man, you niggas too sweet like baklava. Niggas better not make a nigga bring them choppers out. Better pray for your health like the doctors out. Just be faithful, one day you'll be thankful. Wonder why they hateful. Luckily I got angels. I'm so thankful. Yes, I'm so thankful. Used to be ashamed, and even before I changed,
still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept. One West is too raised, son, that's where I came from. That is my A1s, I'm talking day one. Rest of these niggas out here is just fake, son. Look, you can hate, son, you cannot take, son. I've been in every hood out of my state, son. Out in these streets, I'm steady blazing. Looking to cut a nigga like I'm Jason. I am the one, this is the Matrix. Going so hard that they think I'm an agent. Going so hard that they said I'm a Mason. These are the facts, though, I'm just amazing. There is no other way that I could state them. Iron my spotted, they'll never be vacant. These niggas lazy, they got them blazing. They wanna level these fucking Caucasians. How the fuck we gonna rebuild our nation? You niggas feminine, go get some makeup. Sorry, but my love is only for Jacob. We had some hard days, we learned some hard ways. Always, just know that I pray that we get it out the dust. Only thing that I trust, knowing that my niggas gon' bust. That's thumbing up the rush, thinking that you won't get touched. Fuck when my brother get crushed, been through too much. Always come through in the clutch. Nigga just do what it does, fuck you thought shit was. Cause nigga it wasn't. Know that I do this a dozen. Always kept it 100. Niggas know I never stunning. And I keep shit running, even on the days when the pain keep coming, or a nigga fucked up and he feel like numbing. Show goes on, I just keep on drumming my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Dark days with no night vision, that's why my heart is a cave and there's ice in it. Don't even trust niggas no more, Lord is my witness. Me and these niggas ain't the same, it's a slight difference. Thought a nigga had my back, now it's a knife in it. But now I'm back at the back like it's the ninth inning. Still got the backpack packed in the back of the camp van, taking any given chance to blaze on the white man. Son of Benjamin, born on the right hand, never losing grip, I understand who I am. Met a man that showed me the right path, now I'm rooted in the truth, to rule is my plan. And I can never lose sight like an exam. Sharp as iron, I was forged by fire, man. In the circle of life, how could I tire, man? I was undesired, had no one, and then I met these men and it changed how I'm living. Their words was convicting, called that a life sentence. Now I need a witness, but no, I'm not Christian. My faith in these scriptures, man, not no religion, man. It's like Tazab, and I'm with my brother Katazab. Man, you niggas too sweet like baklava. Niggas better not make a nigga bring them choppers out. Better pray for your health like the doctors out. Just be faithful, one day you'll be thankful. Wonder why they hateful. Luckily I got angels. I'm so thankful. Yes, I'm so thankful. Used to be ashamed, and even before I changed,
still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Then I met these men and it changed how I'm living. Their words was convicting, called that a life sentence. Now I need a witness, but no, I'm not Christian. My faith in these scriptures, man, not no religion, man. It's like Tazab, and I'm with my brother Katazab. Man, you niggas too sweet like baklava. Niggas better not make a nigga bring them choppers out. Better pray for your health like the doctors out. Just be faithful, one day you'll be thankful. Wonder why they hateful. Luckily I got angels. I'm so thankful, yes I'm so thankful. Used to be ashamed, and even before I
still kept my faith, even on the days I wanna break. Saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Let's clap it up. Shalom Israel. Y'all by Shimmy outside, brought the thumb to the brothers. Y'all small out thumb by Shimmy outside to the sisters. Well, I SUPK, the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, born West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any organizations. Israel, pay your tithes. And make sure you kick in that $200 for every brother and sister 17 and older attending the Passover. If you got a little extra, hey, throw it in. Throw it in. Make sure that you got your travel arrangements, your lodging arrangements set up. You know, talk with the school. Talk with the school near you if you need help with something, or if you need to see about you know, rolling with somebody, catching a ride, or you know, throwing down on a room or something like that. The last minute things get crazy, and you don't want to be that brother or sister kind of knocking on the door at the end of it, like, you know, so like, can I stay here with you? And just, you know what I'm saying, like, try to get in order ahead of time, man. So this is Tuesday Brotherhood class, which includes sisterhood, of course. We're coming to you live, Twin Cities, Minnesota, No Cowards, Minnesota. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share all the content on the different social media platforms, and we're gonna get it in, man. It's Tuesday. This is the Brotherhood class, and today's topic: the haves and the have-nots. You know, they a lot of people take money for granted, which is, how would I say it? It's it can be a good and be a bad thing. Like we're gonna get into this too. But first we're gonna open up with Zephaniah 2:1, as we always does. And that's another thing, you know, pay your tithes, man. Like I don't care. Like we ain't rich out here. We ain't rich out here by, you know, you got some brothers and sisters out there that got money, no sweat. You got brothers and sisters out there that ain't got money, no sweat. You got brothers and sisters out there that ain't got money, who know the brothers and sisters who do got money, who ain't sitting there knocking on their door trying to panhandle with them. Because it's not about that. You got brothers and sisters that who do got money, who kick in extra for donations for events, because it is about that. So I mean, when we talk about, when you think about the spirit of brotherhood and finances, people can start all of a sudden getting stingy about it, and it's understandable. And maybe I'm biased coming from somebody who didn't grow up with money and that never had, like, you know, high paying jobs and things like that, and didn't have a profitable savings account. Maybe I just hate the concept of it. I don't know, but it's got a certain function to it, but it can also drive people down a crazy road. So select whenever you got that up. Zephaniah 2:1. There you go. We're gonna read 1, 2, and 3.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, ye. Gather together, O nation, not desire.
It's like, all right, and that's a huge point that you know, that a lot of people are distracted from. Gathering together, O nation, not desire. You want to be all inclusive, or you want to be favored, so you'll accept and you'll negotiate, you know, for other people's wants and needs and concerns and ideologies and their own pride and prejudices. So you'll make room for that. You'll make accommodations for it. That's not what this thing is about. We ain't supposed to just open up the doors for any old damn thing. This is something holy. This is something separate, and it should be treated and respected as such.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth, before the days pass, as the chef, before the fury anger of the Lord come upon you.
Listen, before it's too damn late, before it's too late, before you gotta wait till you're standing in a lake of fire, before you gotta wait till the judge slams the gavel, before you gotta wait till you gotta get bailed out, before you gotta wait till you got stage 4 terminal cancer, before you gotta wait till a drunk driver smash into you or something. Get right with the Most High, get right with your people too.
That's right.
It's
right.
Gather together, O nation, not desire. Everybody else hates you. We were talking about this last week. They're gonna hate you for loving your own people. They're gonna hate you for this, and they're gonna treat you like that for loving your own people. Everyone wants to talk about love and unity, and everybody's supposed to just open arms and hold hands. When that mechanism has never worked for anybody.
Right.
For anybody. It's always been a destruction, across the board. But they want you to fall for that. Keep going.
Before the day of the Lord anger come upon you.
Before that happens. Before you gotta get punished, before you gotta sit in that judgment seat. You know what I'm saying? Take heed to these words, man. It's not gonna lead you wrong. There's nothing wrong with being sober. There's nothing wrong with gathering with your own people. Ain't nothing wrong with giving charitably to your brothers and sisters that may be in need. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with you loving your own people. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody else does it. I don't care what they say. Everybody else does it. Ain't nothing wrong when we do it. It's just they want to point the finger now.
Right.
Instead of looking in the mirror, they want to point the finger because that's an easier thing to do. Because they ugly, they horrible, they're monsters.
That's right.
And they rather make you feel that type of way versus you taking pride in your people and just loving yourselves. I want you to go to 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. Ain't nothing wrong with loving your people, man. It's almost a rare thing to see nowadays. For Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to have unity in our community, that rhymes. Bars. Right. I'm trying to tell you. It's a rare thing for us to have that type of camaraderie amongst each other, for us to take pride in our identity, especially when a lot of people don't know their identity like that. Like you really got to start watching these classes. You got to start seeing the YouTube videos and the TikTok videos. You had what's the brother from Cali named Salaki to the men above me? I can't remember the brother name. I want to know. That's not it.
Well,
Issachar. I believe he is Issachar, but him and also Yatazar Yatazar speaking Haitian Creole, and then the brother speaking Spanish. They just kind of spitting back and forth.
Well, he's not from Cali. He's talking about Officer 5000 Yashikar by Yashikar.
Yeah, Yashikar, but then the Mexican brother that's with him. When and I know Yashikar, I know Yatazar is from New York. I know he's from that area. Then there's another brother, big old crazy ass beard, from I believe from the West Coast.
Right. Well, close to Houston.
Could be from Texas, but they doing a promo video for the upcoming holidays.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Salaki. I can't remember the brother name. Salaki.
Yeah, I got it for you.
But you should see the unity between us when we start clicking up, when we start coming together, and it's like we know this too. You got a whole lot of racism and colorism between Blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians. But we also do know that when we start clicking up, that vibe, it's like it's the same thing, man. We the same peoples. We're the same peoples. We kick it on the same level.
That's right.
It's like you got that 1 Timothy 6.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil.
The what of money?
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
It's not that money is the root of all evil. It's the what of money?
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. That's what's gonna get you in trouble. That's what's gonna get people's heart broken. And that's what's gonna corrupt your mind. That's what's gonna corrupt your heart. Like, it's not, money itself. It's and we're about to get into this. So pull up Ecclesiastes chapter 7. So Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament, not Ecclesiasticus. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. It's not that money itself is a bad thing. It can be very profitable. It can be put to work. It can be a tool. It can be functional. But the love of money is the root of all evil. And you got a whole lot of people out there who just covet that. So you got the have, you got the have-nots. You got people that are coveting after the haves too. That just want what they got because they got it and they live in a poor state. But they don't know how rich they are as a people either. When you're in the truth, I should say. People that are in the world that are stuck and trapped under that paradigm, yeah, there's going to be a resentment for it. While the rest of us, we're working at 9 to 5, doing things on the side. Some brothers and sisters have made businesses where they can support their families off of this.
Right.
So like, ain't nothing wrong with getting money. Ain't nothing wrong with applying it, with using it. But the love of money, that's what's gonna mess you up. You got that?
What
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12.
What is, sir?
Hey, no sweat. Get it when you can. Take your time. It's there's an application to it, man. Like the way that you would put it to use, the way that you would look at it, that's gonna kind of make that difference. All right, good.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Ecclesiasticus.
No, Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 12. For wisdom is a defense.
There you go. So now, especially if you're gonna be in the money making business, you're gonna need to be wise about things. You're gonna want wisdom on your side because that's gonna help defend that profit margin. Keep going.
And money is a defense.
So wisdom is the defense, and money is the defense. It can be used appropriately. If you're not loving the money, if that's not the thing that's catching your eye and ruling you, the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right.
But money can be used as a defense for the people, as a defense for your communities, as a defense for your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be, like, when applied appropriately, it can be a good thing. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Keep going.
But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them.
Now that's going to be the difference for a lot of people. Like, money, like you got so many people that are sitting there spending millions and billions and cajillions of dollars trying to figure out how to extend their life. Different, organ transplants, trying to extend the longevity of their failed organs. Mainly it's focused on health and things like that, and for future securities for the family, and their legacy. But read that last part again. What does wisdom do? What does knowledge do?
But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them that have it.
That's what's gonna make you alive, man. And what's talking about that wisdom, that knowledge, is talking about the law, statutes, commandments. It's talking about,
that's right,
like, this is what's gonna keep you alive.
Right.
That money ain't gonna do it by itself. It can help in certain situations. Don't you know what I'm saying? Like, again, let's not be naive about it. Ain't nothing wrong with having some dollars. But if you're gonna, you got a lot of rich people out there that are in the cemetery. You got a lot of rich people in the ERs. You got a lot of rich people in jail. Money isn't the end all be all. You need that wisdom. You need that knowledge. You need statutes. You need commandments to govern under. So it's not just, money. Money is just that materialistic. It's an object. It can be put to use. It can be used as a defense. But you ain't gonna get nowhere in life unless you got that wisdom and knowledge.
Right.
I know people that got a lot of money and they think they better than the people that's fortunate in it.
Yeah.
It's sad.
And you got some examples of like damn, I'm just looking this up. So Nabal and Abigail, you know, brothers with I want you to go real quick. I want you to go to 1 Samuel 25. 1 Samuel 25. Start at damn. I don't want to end up reading the whole damn thing, but we're gonna start at one. Like we're probably gonna end up spinning down.
Yeah, I got you. Can
Yeah, no, it's okay. 1 Samuel chapter 25. We're gonna start at 1. There's a lot of applications to it. Depends on how you apply the thing. But it's if that's all your mind and your heart is focused on, you're gonna die no matter how much money you got.
Right.
Who was it? Freddie Gray Mama who got that settlement?
Either Freddie Gray or Eric Garner.
Eric Garner wanted to Salaki for not having not remembering the name off top, but you know that young brother, his mom got a hefty cash settlement. That didn't make her happy. The sister still tried committing suicide because of the loss of her loved one. That's where her heart was. With her family, with a son. That's where her heart was. Her heart wasn't in the money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not going to solve your like those heavy issues. It can solve your rent issue. It can solve your credit score issue. It can solve your car note issue, past debts, student loans, medical bills. It can solve them issues. But matters of the heart, man, like where you really living, it ain't gonna solve that for you. You can't get around that.
Salaki, it was Freddie Gray.
It was Freddie Gray, Salaki. Yeah. So to that brother again, you know, Lord be with that family. That's a horrible thing to have to deal with. Right. And the brother was a young man still. You know, he had a whole life ahead of him that got snuffed short, despite that little hustle that he was doing. That's not enough to murder somebody, man. That's not enough to murder somebody. Otherwise, we'd all be doing it. Everybody, damn near everybody would be dead. If that were enough to convict somebody to death to being murdered, everybody damn near on earth would be dead.
Right.
So I'm saying, like, it's an irresponsible thing to put faith in that. Now start off at verse 1. I wanna see where this is gonna go.
Chapter 25. Verse 25.
1 Samuel 25. Yep.
Okay. First Samuel chapter 25, verse 1. And Samuel died, and all the Israelites was gathered together, and lament him, and buried him in his house at Ramah. And David rose and went down to the wilderness of Paran. Verse 2. And there was a man in Maon whose possession was in Carmel. And the man was very great. And he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. And he was sharing his sheep in Carmel.
All right, so we talk about a brother here who had wealth, who had stature, who had wealth. He had property. He had a lot of livestock. I want you to skip down to I want you to read verse 5 real quick.
And David sent out 10 young men. And David said unto the young men, get you up to Carmel and go to Nabal, and greet him in my name.
Read verse 7.
Verse 7. Now I have heard that thou hast shared. Now thy shepherd which was with us, we hurt them not. Neither was there aught missing unto them.
All right, so he didn't. There were some workers of this rich shepherd that were out and about, and these brothers came upon them. And Whereas in many other situations, they'd have probably been robbed, they'd have been murdered, you know, the flock would have been taken over, yeah, and dude would have gotten robbed. But because King David, he was a just man, he was a good brother.
That's right.
He harbored these shepherds. He looked out for them. You know, provided protection, making sure that this man flock don't get jacked. I want you to go down to verse 10.
Verse 10. And Nabal answered David's servant. Nabal, Salakia. And Nabal answered David's servant and said, who is David?
So now, first off, he knows who David is. He knows who King David. Everybody knew who King David was.
Right.
And it's like this is before he was King David too. This was, you know, during the death of Samuel, who was a great seer and prophet for Saul. But it's like David was traveling through the countryside, things like that, came upon this dude. He knew who David was. So now he had sent his men out there to go greet this brother, you know, kind of give him not a fair warning, but just kind of heads up because he's coming through his land. He came across his shepherds, and then the sheep shearers came across him. So he just wanted to be brotherly and extend a salute to the man. Keep going.
And who is the son of Jesse?
And he's like who are you? Like he knew his father. That's how you know that he knew who David was. Because then he named his father too. Like, but basically, like that was a diss to him. Like, dude, who is you? Like, you know, like he's sitting on all these sheep, all this cattle, all this livestock, and then David coming through. But the reaction was like who are you that I got, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are you that I gotta respect? Who are you that I gotta show respect to?
Right.
Just because you Jesse's son, he knew who David was. This was after David killed Goliath, a giant Hamite, an ugly ass giant Hamite. He killed him in the field of battle. They knew who David was. He knew who his father was. He knew the pedigree that this brother comes from. And this was a very disrespectful response to David extending brotherhood. Keep going.
And there be many servants now a day that break away every man from his mouth.
So now he fell into the hype of David betraying Saul. He's sitting there thinking like, you know, like David never broke faith with Saul. He never broke faith from the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And this dummy, he's sitting there like believing in the propaganda, believing in the hype that David had betrayed Saul, that David was going against Saul, which was not the case. But he's sitting there trying to poke jabs at him because he in Saul's favor, in Saul in his favor. So he's trying to poke jabs at David. Keep going.
Verse 11. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shares, and give it unto them, Salakia, and give it unto man whom I not will they be?
Read that again. Read that again from start it back over. Start it back over from the top.
Verse 11. Shall I then take my bread?
And it's like take your time with it so you can slow down.
And my water and my flesh that I have killed it for my share.
So again, he just focused on me. Mine. Keep going.
And give it unto man whom I know not will they be.
So he playing stupid here, man. He playing stupid. Again, he knows who David is. He knew who his father was. So of course he knew who David was. But again, he just it's greed, man. It's greed. Mine, me.
Right.
And that's all he worried about. He ain't worried about, you know, David sending that olive branch to him, letting them know, like, hey, listen, we coming through your land. We came across your peoples. We got your back. Because David wasn't like that. Like David was a smooth brother, man.
Right.
He was cool people. And he was met with complete disdain and disrespect by this fool, who again had money, had prestige, had power, had status, and this is how this is the lack of brotherhood that was shown to him. All right, keep jump down to verse 13.
Verse 13. And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword.
And he's about to ride up on him, man. Like he didn't like that. David's a cool brother, man. He was a level-headed, wise, smart brother, but he didn't like that. To get dissed like that when he didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
To just get, you know, just for dude to spit in his face when he's showing brotherhood. He didn't ask dude for nothing like that. I mean, certainly nothing that he couldn't have spared, you know, even if he did. But to get talked to like that, I mean, that was a grave mistake. Like watch who you speaking to, man. These are men of God. Like be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like watch yourself. Be cool, man. Because like brothers ain't gonna do you dirty. I met this one brother on the bus stop not that long ago. He used to be in this one book club. Whose leader, you know, hey, Lord be with that man's family. Whose leader got arrested for embezzling funds from his peoples. Got locked up. It was like 5 million plus. Like it was a lot of money.
It was about I think 5.3.
It was a lot of damn money. More money than I got. Embezzled all that money from his people. Ended up dying in jail. Yeah, first says from COVID. I ain't gonna get no conspiracy theory about nothing.
No.
I'm gonna say no. I mean, kind of look familiar, but I'm gonna say no. I mean, he had like a whole thing on too, hat and hoodie and all that stuff. I mean, but he looked older than dude.
Okay.
But no, it's like you asked me that. It's like,
I forgot.
But you know, the experience that he had with that organization. This is again why we put the disclaimer out there. The ISUPK and the Commander General Yan is not affiliated with no organization whatsoever.
That's right.
We need to keep that difference. Yahushua and the disciples kept that difference. The nation of Israel kept that difference. That's why it was the nation of Israel and not the nation of everybody and they damn mama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was always a difference established, which is a very appropriate thing to do. Otherwise, you're gonna have Jeffrey Dahmer and Jeffrey Epstein. Too many damn wicked Jeffreys to count. Ted Bundy. You're gonna have people like that in your organization. You're gonna have pedophiles and rapists and murderers and psychopaths and schizophrenics.
Right.
That don't care nothing about brotherhood. They don't care nothing about decency and order. They only care about their money. What they can get out of life, out of somebody's pockets.
Right.
What they can get out of somebody's life. There needs to be a difference to establish that order. Life is about war. You can't escape that. We ain't got to be damn animals out here, though. Learn how to conduct yourself with some decorum, with some self-respect. Learn how to respect your people.
That's right.
Man, like on the train, I mean, you got people just blaring their crappy music. So like, if it ain't One West music, I don't know what to tell you. I ain't got much love for it.
That's right.
They're just bumping just this stupid music and smoking weed and smoking cigarettes just right there in a confined area. You know, so you just move away. Just move away. Chances are you're not gonna be able to reason with these type of people anyway. And again, these are our own people predominantly that are doing this stuff. But what we can do is teach these classes and try to and give them equip them with the tools to change their lives so that they're not that guy in the back of the bus freebasing. You know what I'm saying? Just right there in public, not caring about nothing or nobody. If there's men, women, children present to them, just sitting there freebasing or railing it right there on the bus or right there on the train. Good?
Yeah, that's what happened to me one time. I was going to class in the summer. There were a lot of black our people sitting there in front of the bank, and he just started singing, and he was singing a lot of gay lyrics, and he was looking at me. I wanted to turn around and went the other way.
Yeah.
He was just he see me, they just all just start acting wicked.
Just walk away from them, man. Don't ain't really no need to confront them. Just gonna lead into a fight. Who knows if they got a knife, if they got a gun, if they're ignorant enough to try to do something stupid with your life or with the life of the people that you with too. You know what I'm saying? Don't just jump in there all willy-nilly just because you don't like it. No sweat. Don't like it, move around. Like there were times when I got off at the next stop, I would get off of that car and I would just walk up to the next car that they're not in. The Lord allowed the people in that car ain't doing the same thing. But luckily they were not the couple times that I'd done this. So just a nice, easy, peaceable way to just move around. Keep on going with your life. So now with this fool, Nabal, David's men, like they girded up, they about to get ready to ride out. They was about to go put this man down for his blatant disrespect.
Right.
I want you to jump down to for time's sake, jump down to 18. So now, again, David, just to recap, David had sent coming through the land, came across the shearers. He had sent men over to Nabal house to give him a heads up, let him know everything's cool. We just passing through. You know, we came across your peoples. We got your back. Everything's good. And they were asking for provisions though. That's like there's one thing I forgot to mention. Agreeing by name, and thus shall you say to them that live in prosperity, peace be to you, blah blah blah. Now I heard that while they're on come, that's a young man will show you for the young man found our favor, so we come a good day, give I pray thee. And so in verse 8 he had asked, give I pray thee whatsoever cometh to thine hand unto thy servants and to thy son David. So like, you know, he not submitting himself to this man, but he's showing him brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, and coming into his presence as a servant. Like listen, if y'all need something done, shit, you know, we here, there's a few hundred of us, you know, you need something built, you need something protected, watch, whatever, no sweat. You know, all we asking for is like, listen, man, if you got something to spare, you know, hook us up. You know, we just coming through, we found your men, you know, we watch their back, you know, show good faith, you know, if there's anything that you can do. And again, dude was rich. He had money. He had more than enough. Like he had thousands, thousands of 3,000 sheep, 1,000 goats. Yeah, so like, you know, he a dozen of each, 2 dozen of each wouldn't have hurt his bank. But again, man was selfish and prejudice against David versus King Saul. Very ignorant of the matter and very unbrotherly. So David's about to go on and ride on this house, man. Because dude had sheep, he had goats. He didn't have an army. He wasn't like David. He wasn't built like that. But he had all this money. He was one of the haves. Now David coming through with his men in that position, they were the have-nots. The brother just asked him, you know, for a little blessing, like, hey, you know, something you can do for us, anything you can toss our way. And the dude with the have said, nah, like, who are you? Just because you dude's son? Nah. You broke, you stabbed our king in the back. Like, you're supposed to obey your master. Accusing David of something that he didn't do. That's one of the problems with the mentality of the people that are the haves. They think that they know something just because they got some money.
Right.
There's a lot of mentally deficient, low IQ individuals out there with money. There's a whole bunch of them too. Just because you got money don't make you something special.
That's
The
right.
dude thought he was something special though. Yeah, so jump down to verse 18. So like he got word back. The dude disrespected him. He was about to gird up his men and go and talk to this brother about it. So yeah, verse 18.
You made a good point. It just made me think about who our president is right now.
There you go.
Has anybody ever seen Biden's videos or ever heard him talk?
Right.
And based on how he answers people's questions, this man seemed like he has a first grade mindset.
But he's the president of the United States.
Yeah. Now you thought Donald Trump was bad. Joe Biden, when you really pay attention to what he says and how he responds to everything, like he sounds like a child. And it's like, what the hell?
So, but he's president of the United States.
and he's rich.
Right. He's got nuclear.
Right.
He's got nuclear missile codes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The chief executive officer.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be kidding me. Like money don't make you nothing special.
Right.
Good for you if you got it. But again, there's a whole lot of people in the cemetery, in the jails, underground, ODing off of this, that, and the third that got money.
Yeah.
That don't make you nothing cool. That don't make you nothing special.
Right.
Especially if that's your spirit. If that's your spirit, man, you better watch it, bro. You better act right.
And so, like, based on what you just said, Christians, politicians.
There you go.
Pastors,
there you go.
Religious leaders, they fit into that category because they don't give a damn about the poor. They give a damn about themselves.
Yep.
It's a lot. My bad.
No, you got it. You got it. All right. So go ahead, read 18.
Verse 18. And then Abigail made haste.
This was a sister using her brain. This was a smart sisterly sister. And we're going to explain. So she did not go to her husband about this. She did not get permission from her Lord to go do such a thing that she's about to do.
Mm-hmm.
This saved his life.
Right.
She knew that he wasn't going to hear him. Because actually, I believe even above, because already above, he already dissed the thought of it. So now, this sister made a very wise decision. A very wise decision. Good. Start that from the top again.
Then Abigail made haste.
Oh, it's like it. One thing I wanted to include too. Also when the servants went back to the household after David had banded together with his brothers and he was about to go pursue it. He let the sheep herders, the shearers go. Like he wasn't keeping them prisoner, he wasn't keeping for hostage or nothing like that, ransom. Told them, listen, man, y'all good. You might as well head out. You might as well. We got a room here, bro. Right. Like oh word. Yeah, all right, man. Y'all good to go, bro. Right. Like they weren't bothered. They weren't threatened or nothing like that. But they was like this is about to go down.
Right.
Y'all got it. Y'all get up on out of here. So they go back to the joint and they were like, listen, man, he was cool. He protected us. We had a good time. They probably cracked some jokes, cracked a bottle or something, ate the whatever little bit of food that they had, something like that. But they were in good hands. They were in good hands with a good brother who kept the faith. And they're just kind of giving this report back to the house. And it's like real quick, I just want to see something. All right, so but they're like, listen, man, dude that we were from the ball, like he hard-headed. He ain't gonna listen to nothing we say. He wasn't gonna listen to nothing his woman said. Because again, so now y'all want to talk about misogyny in the Bible. This would have been a good example of misogyny in the Bible. He wouldn't have listened to his wife, even though his wife was trying to save his ass, trying to save everything that they got. She was trying to save him. He wouldn't have listened to her though, because he's the man and he got all this livestock and he buddy with King Saul and you can't tell him nothing because he's rich. Right. So you got to have some type of sense to him, right? Can't tell him nothing. But his wife made a very, very smart decision behind dude's back. But she did this in the right way. Salakia, go ahead.
It took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed it and 5 measures of parched corn.
Parched
corn, Salakia. And 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on asses.
Asses. It's okay to say that word, Asses.
Yeah, asses is a donkey.
It's a biblical term, asses.
Right.
You know.
Hey, we ain't Christians now. Ain't anybody gonna work
Right.
You good? You're not gonna sit in the corner. You good? You got it.
So this sister, she made a very wise move, very strategic move on behalf of her house, or her husband's house, I should say, because that's still his domain. But she made that choice. She made that very wise decision that he was not going to make. That would have gotten them laid to waste. Like dude don't know how close it came. Dude don't know how close that came. So she made a decision. Gathered a bunch of some refreshments, some food, some wine, and got on the road. Got on the road with it. All right, so let's skip down to I want you to skip down to 21. So now she rode out to meet him. So she sent her servant out first to kind of prepare the way, giving them a heads up too. But then she went out to go meet with David. All right, so now verse 21.
Verse 21. Now David had said, surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow had in the wilderness.
So now he's sitting there like, man, I pretty much did all this for nothing, huh? Try to help a brother out. He didn't even ask me, to do none of this. I just did it because, it seemed like the right thing to do.
Right.
And so he's like, well, surely in vain, like how would I say it? Like he wasted his time pretty much, and he'd have been better spent just either keeping it moving or, I mean, he could have been unbrotherly about it and took the whole flock.
Right.
He could have done that. Like there were only some shepherds out there guarding the sheep. It wasn't like dude had like a gang or an army or crew or something like that protecting it. And David had some killers for him. He had hundreds of them.
That's right.
Like if he wanted to, he could have just been that kind of guy and just took everything, and wouldn't even have to worry about being disrespected at this point. But because he is who he is a good brother. He is a righteous man. He chose a higher route. Chose to look out for dude. Dude didn't want to show any kind of love or brotherhood for that gesture. Turned his back on him. Was about to get slaughtered, and his wife recognized that opportunity. Like, dude, like, listen, let me go make this right. So she took it upon herself to go make this right. So she gathered, and this may have been nothing for that host. 200 loaves, 2 bottles of wine. For a few hundred brothers, 2 bottles of wine. Come on, but it's the gesture that she had made in return. That's what matters here. It could have been 2 dozen loaves, 1 bottle of wine, maybe a fifth of something, a fifth of some of that good vodka, right? Some of that good vodka. Yeah. Talk about that good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
This one, yeah.
Talk about that good stuff. Yeah.
You know what's funny though? I took a page out of your book and I got some.
There you go.
Yeah, I hate it.
There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Yeah.
5 sheep already dressed. It could have been 1 sheep. It could have been half a goat or something.
Right.
Like that. But it's the gesture that counted, because dude spit in his face. She wanted to make this right. All right. So now, yeah, you're at 21. Keep going.
So that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him. And he had requite me evil for good.
Requite
me evil for good. Verse 22. So and more.
Skip down to 24.
Verse 24. And fell at his feet and said upon me.
It's like at one point I should. I'm out. Yeah, I got you. So just to hit a point in verse 21, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him. They didn't take one goat, even though dude denied them and turned them down. They weren't like salty about King David. Did make like get mad about it, getting his chest about it. It was like let me, I'm gonna take all his stuff now. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do him dirty.
Right.
He may have been mad about it. He sure didn't like that response, but he didn't do bogus. Right. Again, he was a good, upstanding, bright brother, man. Like he didn't do nothing wrong against him, even though he got disrespected.
Right.
He was about to go tear that house down. He was about to go knock on that door and go talk to him about it. But he would have all his property would have been intact, because by the time he got to that door, they still could have talked it out. It's not that he was just gonna go burn everything down, but because again, otherwise he would have just taken the flock. If that were the case, if he was just gonna go ransack everything, he would have just taken the flock and probably dipped off. But again, he got disrespected by that brother. He went to go address that thing. So there was an ought, and he was about to go to him and him alone. He was about to go knock on his door and see what was up with that. So now, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him, and he hath requited me evil for good. So like dude didn't have to do me like that. Like I was trying to show him love. I was trying to show him brotherhood. He didn't have to play me out like that. He didn't have to requite evil for the good that I did. He did me bogus, even though I had his back, and I took care of his property. I took care of his peoples, and the dude just spits in my face. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just kind of recap. That's the scenario that we're dealing with. So now, verse 24.
At verse 24, and fell at his feet, and said upon me, my Lord, upon me, let this iniquity be, and let thy handmaid, I pray thee, speak in their audience, and hear the words of thy handmaid.
Thine handmaid.
Thy handmaid.
Keep going.
Verse 25. Let not my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial, either Nabal, for as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and body is with him. But I, thy handmaid, saw not the young man of my Lord, whom thou did sin.
I want you to skip down to verse 32. So again, basically, this message getting purveyed to David, and she begging, like, listen, my husband, he's stupid. I love him, Lord be with him, but he's dumb. Right. And I'm doing this as a gesture of good faith, because like dude don't know what the hell he's doing. So I'm hoping that you'll accept this on behalf of our house and spare this man. So verse 32.
Verse 32. And David said unto Abigail, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, which sent thee this day to meet me.
So he was like, listen, man, hey, most time Christ for you. Because again, he was about to go and, kick up some dust with this man, with this brother. And the sister came and beseeched him and reasoned with him, as can always be done. And he listened to the sister, and he was like, listen, man, thank God for you. Because things could have been bad. Keep going.
Verse 33. And blessed be thy advice, and blessed be thou which have kept me this day from coming to shed blood, and from avenging myself with my own hand.
So now he would have, you can't say that what he would have done would have been right. He took offense to the slight, and he was about to go seek, he was about to go avenge his own anger. So now this sister come up to him like, listen, like, I'm sorry on behalf of my husband, like, Salakia, I'm sorry. Take this offering as not to like buy him off for bribe or nothing, because again, like he was asking for a little bit of help with him and his men being out there like that. So I mean, he was asking for it. He could have taken it, but he was asking. So she had came up with this beautiful sisterly idea to help spare her house and the ignorance of her husband. And they was like, listen, I was about to go do something to him, but thanks to you, like, listen, I appreciate what you did here, and we basically just gonna keep it trucking. They're gonna keep it moving along. So I mean that's also a testament to the power and influence that women have in Israel. Those kind words, that soft demeanor, again, extending sisterhood to a brother. It goes a long way. And people, again, on the outside looking in, don't understand what this thing is. She understood the mission. She understood the assignment. She understood the danger that was at her front door. Because if we go down to verse 34, and I'll read this real quick. For in very deed, as the Lord God of Israel liveth, he's like, God is my witness, which hath kept me back from hurting thee. He was like, listen, all right, he sent you out here, stayed my hand. Except thou hast hasted and come to meet me, surely there had not been left unto the ball by the morning light any that pissed against the wall. So again, he gave her praise and a compliment for her gesture, for her efforts to come out there real quick and meet up with him. So if she would have had time to prepare, kind of send off or offering to the brother. Again, not that he was deserving of an offering as such, he wasn't the king or nothing, but again, he did a good thing for these people, and just asked for a little love. If they would have had time to like really prepare something, I'm sure it would have been much grander. But because it had to be done in haste, it had to be done like right at the moment, it was very appreciated by David and his men. So he's like, listen, man, like I was about to turn the whole thing upside down. If it wasn't for you, wasn't for your kind words, like that'd have been it. Dude would have had nothing. He wouldn't have had a pot to piss in by the time I got done with him. And every man under his charge would have been put down. Everything would have got stripped. He'd have chop that whole joint. Man. Like it would have been a horrible thing had it not been for that system. So again, this is a story about them haves and have-nots. And this brother thinking that because he got something that he can be arrogant, he can be gaudy, and he ain't gotta have that sense of brotherhood, especially with his claims against David for what would it say up above, his claims against David for going against Saul, which again he never did. He never went against Saul. It's just there were people that saw the error in Saul's ways and saw the righteousness of David and started backing David. David wasn't running for the throne or nothing. He wasn't in competition. He wasn't campaigning or nothing to be the king. People just started. They recognized David. They learned from him. They saw a good leader in him. People just started backing David. And started kind of shying away from Saul. And, Saul was making some mistakes. His biggest mistake is when he's supposed to kill all them Edomites and then spared the king. Like this is when you saw the decline of his reputation and his station. So we can drop that, and I want you to run to. Let's get Acts chapter 5, start at verse 1. So now some things that we just ain't supposed to do with each other. It's the way that we're supposed to treat each other is very different then I would say how other nations would claim to govern themselves. Even though a lot of people got similar, like on paper, a lot of people got similar philosophies. But as far as putting them to use, applying them to real life, it just don't work. So like now, one of the things is we don't lend upon usury to each other. If a brother come to me asking for some financial aid, $100, he's only gonna pay me back $100. I cannot charge taxes to that. I cannot charge interest. I cannot charge interest to that. It's just $100. Now, if somebody else from another nation come to me asking for a loan, I give them $100. I can set the stipulation. I'm giving you $100. You got to pay me back $1,000 though, which is very like you see it with the banks. You see it with the money lending companies and businesses. And now we ended up adapting that and treating each other like that too. And again, that's another condition of like the haves versus the have-nots. So you got brothers and sisters who got money. So now they feel that that gives them authority in any way, shape, or form. They think that money gives them authority. Now that is almost like very true in the world, in America. If you got money, you can call the shots, you can make the rules, you can buy your way out of prison. Jeffrey Epstein couldn't. Because I think, and I ain't trying to get no conspiracy theories or do it, but there was a lot of names that he was able to drop, a lot of names. But that's their way of life that we ended up adapting. And if you look at a lot of the conditions that our people in, it's after adapting their philosophies. It's after not segregation. It's after integration and taking on their lifestyles, their way of life, their principles, their philosophies. That's what ended up destroying our communities, destroying our businesses by giving them our business, by patronizing their businesses, taking out, like breaking down our family structure, trying to sample it after theirs when they were in a horrible state. So now usury, that's just one thing that we are commanded not to do to each other. We are commanded not to apply usury to one another.
That's right.
And if you don't want to do, if you don't want to lend somebody money, just don't lend them money.
Right.
Don't be unbrotherly about it. Be like, listen, man, you ask me for $100, I need $500 back from you. Don't do that. Don't do that. If they ask you for $100, chances are they can be able to pay you back $500.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of the condition of your people. There's other arrangements that can be made too. Like, if they need some money, they can work for you for a time. So if you got like a business like that or something, I wouldn't go so far as be like, all right, you got to do my laundry and sweep my floors for the next month. Then that's that's not too cool.
Right.
So in that spirit of brotherhood, we are commanded not to treat each other like that. The way that we keep on being treated by everybody else. We are commanded not to do that to one another. That's something that a lot of people have lost focus of. That's why we say gather together, O nation, not desire. That's why we got these records, this history book and these records with these stories and these examples on how to conduct ourselves as a nation, as a kingdom, to avoid collapsing like the rest of the world is doing right before our eyes. Mm-hmm. Their recessions, the Great Depression, we were good. During the Great Depression in the 20s, in the 10s and 20s, we were good. We were fine. Mm-hmm. As a people, we were good. We were okay. Even though we were in captivity, even though we were still under oppression, we were fine. In comparison, I should say, at the very least, in comparison. Our cities were straight. Our communities was Tawab, man. Our villages are like, our brotherhood was strong. Our families were safe. And then they didn't like that. they didn't like that at all. So they bombed us and they made up lies about us, trying to destroy our reputation and our self-respect and our dignity. And they burned us down. And then they said, well, hey, Everybody's equal, right? Let's all be friends. Let's all join hands. And then their economy boomed. Their economy blew up because of us. Not because of the hard work, not because of their elbow grease. No, it boomed because of us. It's not because they gave it the good old college try. They boomed because of us. It's not because of their work ethics. It boomed because of us.
Right.
We built America for them.
That's right.
And they turned around and they spat in our face and they locked us up after they could capitalize off of every attribute of our people. They murdered us and they broke our families and they took our kids from us. And they set up boarding schools on the reservations, cut off all their hair and told them you can't speak that language no more. And then they drew all these lines on this map saying, nah, you can't cross that line. They put little kids in cages and they sold them across international, waters. That's what we get for integration. That's what we get for building their kingdom. Don't ever get it confused. They do not love you.
Right. That's right.
They hate you.
Right.
They hate everything about us.
That's right.
Because we're better than them.
That's right.
Damn right. We're better than them. Shout out to Captain Tazariak, the skin I'm in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Looked in the mirror and realized we're better than them.
Right.
And then they told us we were ugly, that we were stupid, that we were criminals, and we good for nothing. We're better than these devils.
That's right.
And it's about time we start acting like that.
Right.
Starting with each other. Let's treat each other like we got some kind of self-respect. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Right.
It's not a very complicated thing to do. It's like
You said self-respect, self-love.
self-love, damn right.
Yeah. Self-identity.
Self-identity, man. Let's bring that back.
That's right.
Because we had it. There was a time where, how would I say this? We were not fully knowledgeable that we were Israelites, but we had that unity. What I'll just put it. I just said. But we had unity. We recognized Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians as not being all that different from each other.
Right.
Maybe we didn't fully understand that we were those tribes, but we understood that like our plight was the same. We understood that our enemy was the same too.
That's right.
That's something else we understood. You got Acts? All right, let's go.
Acts chapter 5, verse 1. But a certain man named
Ananias
with Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession. Verse 2. And kept back part of the price.
Kept back part of the price. This is again, man. Don't be stingy with that money, man.
That's right.
You got a couple dollars, man. You better kick that up. You better kick that up. You better pay your tithes with that. You better show love to your people with that. Because again, we are the only thing that's gonna keep our heads above water. When push comes to shove, when it comes down to having to rely on somebody, if you put your faith and your trust back into this kingdom, that all they are gonna do is use you, abuse you, bleed you dry.
That's right.
It. The Christian church, I don't care how black it is, they're gonna do the same thing to you because they've already done it. Like it shouldn't be that shocking when we're hearing all these stories about again extortion. Take the molestation and the rape and the adultery off the table for a second. Just the extortion of the money that the people provide them.
Right.
$5 billion jets? You kidding me? Commanding General Yohana deserves a fleet for the work that he's put in, for the men that are under him, for the work that they put in, so that they can spread this truth all over the globe. They deserve a damn fleet. They deserve an aircraft carrier, a naval command system. You know what I'm saying? They give them some submarines give them, you know, the Lord. Listen, the Lord's gonna give them chariots.
That's right.
We ain't gonna worry about a 5G, you know, aircraft or nothing like that. Or trying to fly first class to coach or economy or something like that. It like, listen, the game is gonna change, and y'all gonna be salty for it.
Right.
So be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna lead you anywhere bad. It just means that, you know, your days of having fun, smoking dope, and shooting up are gonna stop.
That's all right.
That's gonna come to an end. Homosexuality, you're gonna have to give that up. That's gonna come to an end. And I mean, unless you're cool with dying, I mean that's I guess that's, you know, everybody want to think they got free will. I guess that's an option for you. Otherwise, the commandment was to, you know, follow the statutes.
Right.
To follow the commandments. And that means that a lot of the things that we do as a people, you can't do that no more. And in exchange for that, here's the kicker. In exchange for that, you'll get the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a pretty good deal to me. I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know. That sounds pretty cool to me. And you know, again, a lot of people want to try to they want to fantasize about who they were back in the day. You know, again, everybody was Saul. Nobody was Saul. Nobody was Saul. I don't remember hearing nobody saying that they were Saul, but everybody was David. You got to remember David got Isaiah. You got to remember though that David got punished by the Most High too because he broke the law also.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like don't forget about that part. Everybody was Elijah. Everybody was Ezekiel. Everybody was Paul. Everybody was Peter. Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just kind of just about to say that. Some of y'all niggas out there, y'all was Christ. Y'all was Yahweh Shai.
You know, Salaki, I don't hear this a whole lot. I hear it every once in a while, but a lot of people be like, "I'm God."
Yeah.
Now I was thinking, are you talking about what Christ said about ye are gods, or are you saying that you're actually the one who created all of this? I had to check it, brother. We was passing out flyers. It was me and two other brothers was passing out flyers downtown Minneapolis. And this brother who had dreads, he's talking about that he's God, like I created all of this. I'm like, really?
I've heard.
I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, most high Christ, I guess, right? Yeah. But I asked him, I'm like, if you died and you created all of this, why you got dreadlocks?
Right. Like, what's up?
Why are you smoking a cigarette right now? If you're God. And first of all, if he was God, I couldn't actually see you. I'll be dead.
Right.
Everybody
should be able to.
This whole earth will burn.
Should be able to.
So I'm like, good night. Okay. I'm like, damn. You know what? It's nice to meet you, guy.
Yeah, right.
Like,
and then just keep it moving.
Right.
If they're at that point, just
no. You know what happened? The brother walked away.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just move along.
I agree with what you said. That this brother I was to say is like. He told me on the phone, he said, I might be the Most High. I said, okay, now time's up, man. You just say, man, you lost your man. You ain't the Most High, dude. You know, yeah, 6 years. I said, you counted the same. You try to get some help or seek the scripture more deeply. If you're not the Most High, I mean, that's some kind of insanity.
That's heavy insanity. Because, all right, so that's one brother you met. This one brother you met. I met a brother saying that same thing. So there's at least three gods accounted for on earth right now. At least three of them. That's crazy. That's crazy. There's at least three of them on Clubhouse right now. Another one in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Like there's 4 or 5 Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? Like there should be. The world should not look like this. Right. If there's 3 gods, if there's 3 most high powers on earth, and then like 5 Jesus Christ, plus like another King David's and a handful of Pauls, like dog, we should be straight.
Right.
We should be living good. Everybody, like the kingdom should be here. We should be set. We should be good.
Exactly.
But I still see reservations. I still see ghettos. I still see tobacco shops. I still see abortion clinics. I still see drug dealers and prostitution. At some point, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna call bullshit. It's like I'm gonna call BS. I'm gonna call BS. I don't believe it. But there's some people out there that are like that because don't nobody want to be the janitor. Don't nobody want to be the crossing guard of Israel. And you know, so people ain't focused on just being alive for the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? People ain't even that appreciative of that thing we call life. That spark, that ability to interact with people that you love and be around, you know, your family and your friends. And to see the miracles of God's creations. Don't nobody want to appreciate that. Everybody, like, you gotta be something of stature, some importance. Like, I just want to live, bro. I just want to live in the kingdom. That's it. I want to see my enemies' kingdoms crumbled and destroyed and burnt to a crisp.
That's right.
And I just want to see our kingdom. That's right. It, man. I'll do whatever. I'll do whatever, man. I'll do whatever. I would pump all the gas at the gas station. I will clean everybody's windows. I don't care. Right. I'll sell you socks. You know what I'm saying? I just want to live, bro, and I want to see my kingdom. I want to see my enemies' kingdoms destroyed.
That's
I
right.
want to see my people free.
All right.
Other than that, like, I don't care. But you got some people out here who take that wealth to their head, and they be trying to withhold money from their people. Read that from the top 5.
Acts chapter 5, verse 1. But a certain man named Ananias.
There was a certain man. So we had a certain man in the ball before. And we got a certain man named Ananias. Let's see what this dummy did. Good.
With Sapphira, his wife.
Now, Nabal at least had the advantage of having Abigail. This brother also had a stupid wife. This was a stupid brother who had a stupid wife.
Right.
Keep going.
Sold a possession.
They sold a possession. Any increase, ma'asher, 10% of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department of Teaching.
That's right.
Did I read that? Yeah, give to the Treasury Department of Teaching. I got that part kind of memorized. So they didn't do this. Let's find out what they did. Okay.
Verse 2. And kept back part of the price. His wife also being privy to it, brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet.
So she was part of this coup. She knew what was going on behind the scenes. She knew that they had made a profit. Now they brought something. But they weren't being honest about it. Keep going.
Verse 3. But Peter said, Ananias, why has Satan filled their heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and kept back part of the price of the land?
So again, he busted them out. And this was Peter. So he was in charge of things at this point. Because after this point, Yahushua had been murdered, and Peter was left the responsibility of the school, of the people. So now these people who were supposed to pay their tithes, pay their dues, so that other people could live and eat, who were not as well off, who didn't have land to sell, who barely didn't even have shoes on their feet. You know, women who had children whose husbands may have died in a war or of a disease or something like that needed some protection. Babies whose mothers died in childbirth, who needed a roof over their head, needed somebody else to take care of them. That's what these things go for. Court is not going to do it. I'm sorry. It's just not. Right. I know it sounds like a real easy and cool and like philosophical, biblical thing to say. Oh, you know, we're just like it's crops and blah, blah, blah. It's not going to cut it. It's not going to buy shoes. You got to change it into money to buy shoes. Not everybody's really with the barter system like that. Walmart doesn't trade. I'm sorry. It don't work that way. I'm not going to go into Walmart with a box full of creamed corn and be like, hey, can I get some baby clothes? Can I get some Similac for this? I'm going to get turned away. They're not going to take that box of corn, bro.
Right.
Like, stop being so damn selfish.
Right.
Again, like, we ain't rich people like that. Again, you got some brothers and sisters with money. You got a lot of money like that ain't got money like that. But we still kick it up. And together, what we do with them funds is miraculous. It's astonishing. It's awe-inspiring.
But you bastards want to talk about, nah, it's crops, it's goods, corn. And then you don't even send the damn corn. You want to talk about it's like fruits and vegetables, you don't even send it. You don't order it online and nothing like that, and then wait for brother or sister to pick it up. You don't get it shipped to anybody's front door. Where is it? Upper Darby, PA. We got an address right there on the website too. If that's how you want to do it, no sweat. Contact Amazon. Fill up that shopping cart. And get it sent over to the school. No sweat. If you're in Minnesota, no sweat. You got our address too. You can go online and catch our address too. You can send that over to us too. If you're in New York, do it for New York. If you're in Philly, do it for Philly. No sweat. If that's how you're gonna do it, you don't even do that. You don't even do that much. But you want to talk about how ties with money is evil. Nigga, we get shit done with that money.
That's right.
You ain't getting nothing done with some fruit cups. It work that way. And I don't care how many scriptures you try to pull about it. Realistically thinking about it, just run it through your head how that would actually work in real life. If you come out to a profitable, answer, just hey, let me know. But until then, pay your tithes.
That's right.
$200 per brother and sister 17 and older for the Passover. Pay that. Pay it up. Take all that coin that you were gonna send and sell it, and then kick that money up. I'm talking about corn, man. Keep going.
Verse 4. While it remained, it was not their own. And as it was so, was it not in their own power?
Like you had control of that situation. When it remained, it wasn't yours. You could have sold it for X amount. You could have given it away. And then when you sold it, with that money that you had, the profit that you gained from that, yeah, control of that too. So now maybe you have bills to pay, no sweat. Maybe it was like $1,300. You had some bills to pay. Your tithes are 10%. That's $130 that you got to pay. But you still had bills to pay. They could have talked to Peter. They could have went to Peter and be like, listen, we in this situation. We got to sell this land because of X, Y, and Z. We got this much money from it. Like, is this cool? Like, can we do something? You could have at least talked to the brother about it. You didn't have to lie to him. You ain't got to lie to Commanding General Yohana. You ain't got to lie to General Muhammad. I know you want to because you're scared shitless of him. Good reason, because that's a scary brother right there.
That's right.
But that's a man of honor and dignity. You ain't got to lie to him. Don't treat us like chumps. Kick that money up, man. Kick it straight with us. We'll work something out. If it was like this, we can work something out. You ain't got to sit there and treat us like garbage. You ain't got to sit there and sneak around and lie to us. Because what are we going to do with that money? It's not like we're not going to take that money and go buy a key of coke and then go flip it and, establish another trap house. We're going to take that money. We're going to put it in somebody's belly.
That's right.
We're going to put some baby clothes on somebody's back. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep somebody's lights on with that money. We're going to help pay for the Passover events with that money.
That's right.
Make sure the brothers and sisters get safely to and from with that money.
Right.
We ain't going to do nothing evil with it. But you got some selfish individuals out there. You got people that have. You got people that have not. The people that have it, they want to keep it.
Right.
They want to keep it right there. Just like that brother with the when he was given the talents. The brother was given like 5 talents. I'm paraphrasing the story. The brother was given 5 talents, came back with 5 more. Brother was given 2 talents, came back with 2 more. Yeah, that one brother was given 1 talent, he buried it. He just kept it, thinking that he's doing good. Because that's an austere man that you're dealing with. And if you mess it up, something's gonna happen to you. He didn't even try. Dude didn't even try to spread the truth.
Right.
He didn't try to increase that gain. You got a lot of people that don't even try. Listen, if you try and you fail, at least you tried. Now get counseling, learn how not to fail again. But at least you tried. At least you put some effort and concern into your people. At least you gave it a go. Keep going.
Oh, Slovakia.
For it was made, it was not their own. As it was so, was it not in their own power? Why hast thou conceived this thing in their heart?
Like, yeah. So the same thing I just got done saying. Like, man, like why go through all this trouble? Why go through all that hassle? Just to lie to me, just to keep a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been that big a deal if you came to one honest about it. Like, hey, you know, Salakia, sir, we you know, we got a couple things going on. We sold this land, we sold this property, we got this money from it. You know, we'll be able to kick something into the school, but you know, we need a couple things too for our household. Because they're not priests and prophets either. These are civilians. It's a little bit different, I want to say. I mean, not really, but it's a little bit different when you're dealing with people that ain't doing the work of the Lord. The expectations of them aren't as high. That bar is not all the way up here. That bar for them is, you know, that's kind of down here because these are still people that would be considered in the world.
Right.
So that bar for them is set down here more. That the expectation isn't as great for them. The pressure isn't as great for them. The responsibility isn't as great for them. You could have at least talked about it. Keep going.
Thou hast not lied unto man, but unto God.
Like, dude, like you didn't lie to me. You lied to God. Like, forget about hurting my feelings. You offended the Most High. Keep going.
Verse 5. And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost.
Did he give up that 10%?
Give up the ghost.
Did he give up that property? Did he buy the property back and give that up?
Give up the ghost.
No, he gave up the ghost, bro. It's like that. That's one of those words that's a miss. How would you say it? It's
called Christian dogma.
Christian dogma. It's not. It was meant. It should have said like spirit here, because like the definition of what they were going for, it shouldn't have read ghost. It should have read like spirit.
Right.
Because there ain't no such thing as ghosts. Casper don't exist. The Ghostbusters, ain't nobody gonna call them. You know what I'm saying? It's just not like that. Keep going.
And great fear came on all of them that heard these things.
Now Peter didn't lift a finger, but he checked the hell out of it. You know, I say this kind of in jest sometimes, just because like when you getting checked, you know, it can feel like the lights are going dim and you about to collapse. Peter checked his life away. The Most High took that man's life for lying to him, not for lying to Peter, but for lying to God, for keeping something that didn't belong to him. That 10%, that don't belong to us no more. Once you get that profit, that little pay increase or something like that, that 10% don't belong to you no more. That belongs to the school. That belongs to the church. It's like that's also one of those Christian dogma words, church. That 10% don't belong to you no more. You don't get to dictate what happens with that 10% no more. That belongs to the men above you. That's your responsibility as a civilian. That's where that bar is set. All right, don't eat pork, don't do drugs, don't commit no crimes, pay your tithes. Follow the law, statute, commandments, and pay your tithes. That's your responsibility. And guess what? That's the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum set of requirements that you would need to meet the kingdom. That's the bare minimum. They weren't commanded to go out there like, all right, so I want you to get to Luke chapter 9, verse 58. That's the bare flipping minimum. And people got the gall to withhold funds from the UPK, from the Lord, man. That 10% don't belong to you no more. Once you get that check, man, you better cash something else too. Go ahead.
Luke chapter 9, verse 58. And Jesus said unto him, flocks have a hole, birds have the egg, and birds of the air have a nest.
You know what I'm saying? So like these people got they had property, they had lodging, they had wealth, they had a roof over their head. They were not responsible. All they were responsible to do was to keep the commandments, keep the laws, and pay your tithes, which is a law. We're going to get into that later in the security announcements, but that was a law too. They were not commanded to do the things that the priests and prophets were required to do. They were not responsible for the same things that the priests and prophets were responsible for. They didn't have to go through the hardships that the priests and prophets had to go through either. So read that from the top.
Verse 58. And Jesus said unto him, Fox have a hole, the birds of the air have a nest, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head.
They didn't have Airbnbs back then. They didn't have you had inns, you had places that where you could go to pay money for lodging and things like that, but also they didn't walk around with money like that either. They were not rich men. Brother here, it's like I one right here saying, foxes got holes, they got a place that they own. Birds even got a place that they own. We ain't got that. I don't have that. He's always wandering around. He's always traveling different cities, different villages, dependent on the brotherhood of his people to house them, to feed them. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people did not have that burden of now. Also, the Lord was with them, so like these brothers weren't worried about it like that either. Some of them were a little iffy about things, but and we got a lot of other stories about that too. We'll run out of time, but Ananias and Sapphira, they didn't have these concerns in life. They didn't have these responsibilities. All they were supposed to do was keep the laws and pay the tithes. They did not. They chose to keep some of that to themselves, and they paid with and Ananias paid with his life. That's the moral of that story. All right, so that's that. I want you to run down to Deuteronomy chapter 17. And of course, we got the story of Lazarus too. That's probably the better one that we should pick up. Grab Luke 16 instead.
Luke 16 instead?
Yeah. Go to Luke 16. Just for time's sake, we're gonna run through this real quick. This is another great story about Lazarus, about rich people and poor people, the haves and the have-nots. Deuteronomy 17. If you were to go to Deuteronomy chapter 17, 16, and 17, you're gonna get the order about not multiplying things into yourself, wives, gold, horses, things like that, because of the effect that it can have on you. If you were to go to, where is it? If you were to go to Matthew chapter 19 and starting at around verse 20, reading down, and everybody's familiar with this. It's easier for and I'm paraphrasing, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Again, it's these people being selfish about their prosperity, the gifts that they've been given, being selfish about that too, instead of trying to help other brothers out, being charitable with it, protecting the widows and the orphans. All right, keep going with what you got.
You said Luke chapter 16 first.
Luke chapter 16, start at 19.
Luke chapter 16, verse 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fell sumptuously every day.
Now again, we got another certain person. What was he wearing?
Which was clothed in purple and fine linen.
Clothed in purple and fine linen. So again, he had money, bro. He had some money, and coincidentally enough, which is no coincidence, it was purple that he was wearing. Fine linen, that gay apparel. There's somebody else walking around like that to this very day, looking just like this dude. Keep going.
20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus.
There was another brother, and I'm sure you've met brothers and sisters like this. A certain beggar named Lazarus. If your life is good, man, if you got all the money in the world, everything's cool with you, you got all your bills paid, you ain't behind on nothing, you got a great credit score, it's like your house, cars, you balling, hey, no sir, listen, Lord be with you, man. I'm happy for you. Absolutely. I wouldn't want to see nobody, living in poverty like that. So if you're doing good. But I bet you know somebody who isn't doing that good. I bet you know somebody who could use your help. I bet you know somebody who could use some compassion and some brotherhood.
That's right.
Who could use a break.
Right.
Who could use a little love. This rich man in purple and fine linens, he knew a brother like that too. His brother name was Lazarus. Keep going.
And there was a Salakia, which laid in his gate for the sword, and decided to be fed with the crowd which fell from the rich man's table.
It's like start that part back over again. Go, take it slow. Take it slow.
Verse 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate for the sword.
Now we see that as a common issue in impoverished communities and people. Health issues. It's a taxing set of circumstances. It's a taxing lifestyle. And Obamacare did not do its job.
Right.
It didn't. Everybody wants to give him praise for that. Man, he didn't do nothing.
Right.
He didn't do nothing special at all. So you got this rich man, you got this poor man, and this poor brother with sores, full of sores all over his body, laid out at dude's gate. Keep going.
Verse 21. And decided to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dog came and licked his sword.
Dude was just asking for the crumbs that this rich man had.
Right.
He wasn't asking for the Bentley. He wasn't asking for a yacht. He wasn't asking for a mansion. He wasn't asking for no money. He was just asking for some crumbs. Now, again, those crumbs could have been in the form like, hey, you got a couple dollars that you can spend, But he wasn't asking for a fortune. He wasn't asking to be seated in the same position that he was in. But he was asking for some love, man. He was asking for some mercy. He was asking for some brotherhood. That's all he was asking. And this devil, this bastard, just let him sit out there. And now you got these dogs sitting there looking at his sores, making the situation worse. He's already in a bad spot. Now you got all these dogs sitting there bugging you and messing with you, damaging you more, damaging your spirit more. Keep going.
Verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died.
And that's a good example. Like, in them churches, especially when the pandemic hit and they closed down, they still kept that button online open for tithes. You still had to pay your tithes. They closed down the churches on you. You had no place to go. You had nobody to turn to when you needed help because everybody's job closed down. I remember my job closed. The place where I was working at that time, it shut down. I was working at a bar and restaurant. It was a social environment, and now we were in a point of social distancing. That killed the entire mood. Right. That killed the entire principle that they were built up off of. That place shut down. Luckily, man, I knew somebody in construction. I was able to get like a cash job. Because that's something that was still going on. But those dogs that were sitting there looking at dude's swords, you got a lot of people in them Christian churches, in the Muslim mosques, in the LGBT community, who again, when poverty hit them and they had nobody to turn to, they were still demanded to pay. They were still demanded this, that, and the third. Those are dogs looking at your swords. You're already in a bad spot, man. But now you got the landlord breathing fire down your neck. You got your old child support, so you got baby mama breathing fire down your neck. You got the church breathing fire down your neck because they still need money too. That was their business, and now their business got shut down. So because it said they got a cross hanging up on a wall with some scrawny redneck chilling on there, like they got you, they guilt tripping you into still paying them to still lie to you. Christmas come around, that's a dog still looking at your sores, man. Breathing. Santa Claus is breathing fire down your neck. The goddamn Easter Bunny breathing fire down your neck. Right. a jack-o'-lantern breathing fire, Cupid breathing fire down your neck. A goddamn turkey, a pilgrim is breathing fire down your neck.
Right.
Those are dogs licking at your sores. You already got it bad. You don't need to get bugged and nudged and messed with by all these dogs sitting there still bag while you sitting there begging, they sitting there still pressing you for what you don't got. You're gonna lose focus. You're gonna lose your damn mind. You're gonna lose that fighting spirit. And it's like, what happened with this brother?
Verse 22, and it come to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angel into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried.
Keep going.
Verse 23, and in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torment, and seeing Abraham afar
off,
Salakia, and Lazarus in his bosom.
So now, so the Bible teaches reincarnation. You know, you close one set of eyes, another set opens up at its appropriate time. So now this dude who didn't care nothing for Lazarus, he wakes up and he finds himself in a horrible condition in life. But now he sees Lazarus, who is in a horrible condition in life, being in Abraham's bosom. So like he's being taken care of. But now he finds himself in that same hardship position. Keep going.
First, Salakia. Verse 24, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in the water and cool my tonsil. For
my tongue,
Salakia.
Good.
For I am tormented in this flame.
So now he had a little taste of that own medicine, man. He felt that pressure. He felt that heat. And now he's sitting there asking of Lazarus for some help. Lazarus is just asking for some crumbs. This dude looking to get, like restored, looking to get, some relief also. He asking for a crumb too from his brother that he completely ignored and dished. Even though he's walking around with that gay apparel, the purple robe, fine linen, all that expensive wardrobe. Couldn't give nothing to Lazarus. Couldn't do nothing. Could have done something. Didn't do anything to help that brother out. Now the shoe is on the other foot. Now he's sitting there begging for help from a brother that he had turned his back on time and time again. I just want to see this for time's sake, because we over the time a little bit. I'll read some of these other ones. So verse 25, but Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. He's like, listen, like you reap what you sow.
That's right.
So and that's this is another example of the understanding of heaven and hell, the concepts of them, what that actually means. It's not a place that you go to underground. There ain't gonna be some red dude with a tail and a pitchfork, waiting to set you on fire. Although coincidentally enough, Edomites are red. Some of them got tails, and especially them rednecks, they got a pitchfork and they like setting things on fire. Coincidentally enough, huh? But he's reminding them, like, listen, like you did this brother bogus. When you were alive, when you were good, and you saw this brother suffering at your feet, right outside your gates, you did nothing for him. Now you see reverse, and now you asking them for help. And he's reminding them, like, listen, you in this condition because of what you did in your past life. You in this life right now, you're gonna be in hell right now because of what you did in your past life.
Right.
It's like if you have. Listen, look out for the people that have not. Pay your tithes. Kick into these donations. Kick in for these high holy days. Kick in for the events that we got. Shop black owned. You know what I'm saying? Patronize each other's businesses. Captain Desariax Oils, or Slaki, Carl Gas. You know what I'm saying? I think it's damn, what's his website? I think is it cargas.com?
Yeah, I think it's .com.
Addictive Chaos, bigcartel.com, UPK FLware, Mama Scent, Karak's Apothecary. So like I completely butchered that, Karak. So like sir.
144 UK.
144 UK, you know what I'm saying? There's all types of
Hazard's collections.
Hazard's collections. You got a lot of sisters out there with good skincare, beauty products, and garments that they can make too. You got brothers out there who rock garments. Captain Kapash, Adawan Hazahab out there. Captain Yagarwa. You know what I'm saying? Out there in the New York area. The Ephraimite brother Apariam. Yawasop, Salakia. I don't know how that skipped me. Salakia. Yeah, Yawasop Yal, a great mechanic. If you got any auto repairs that need to be made, you can holler at that brother. He'll work with you. You know what I'm saying? Like these brothers and sisters, they'll work with you. We'll work with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the types of things that we need to start establishing again. For the brothers that has, for the brothers and sisters that have not. You know what I'm saying? So we can share that wealth again. Because again, back in Black Wall Street, it took like a year for $1 to circulate outside of our neighborhood. Today, your check is gone. Once you get paid, once that direct deposit, you got one of those apps where you get paid 2 days earlier. It's gone 2 days earlier. You might as well have waited till Friday. It would have lasted you 2 days longer. It's crazy out here, man. You know, so I'm saying, don't be selfish. Don't be unbrotherly. Don't be unsisterly. Don't just think about yourself, because you're not the only one here. If you were the only person on earth, yeah, I guess I'd understand that. But you're not.
That's right.
You got a whole nation of brothers and sisters that are trying to come back home, that are struggling through hell with addictions, domestic abuse, all types of malfunctions. You know what I'm saying? That money can be used as a defense. Don't be ignorant about it, though. Don't keep that from your people. If you got something to give, man, listen, spread the love. Don't let it consume you. That's the other part. Don't let it consume you. And where is this before we go? I want to end with this one verse. Matthew, give me Matthew chapter 6, verse 21. You got to remember those pimps and them players that were hustling out of the temple. When Yahweh Shai came upon him, when he heard about this, when he found him, dog, he flipped the tables over on the people that were collecting taxes and again extorting money from the people, from poor people. He went in there, saw what they were doing in the Lord's temple, and turned that mug out. He don't stand for this. He does not stand for that lifestyle. You cannot do this to each other. You cannot charge usury. You cannot withhold from the school. Pay your tithes. Read what you got.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 21. For where your treasure is, there will be Salaki. There your heart will be also.
Listen, the love of money is the root of all evil, not money itself. But if that's where you put all your trust, all your heart, all your focus on, is in that type of treasure, if that's your treasure, that's where your heart's going to be. That's going to be the root of all evil that you experience in life. If you ever wanted to make a change, if something's not going right, again, you need to reevaluate. You need to do a self-audit and see where your heart is. Put your heart into the truth, and you'll see the kingdom getting built. Ain't that worth it? Ain't that worth some of them dollars? Ain't that worth brotherhood? To see the kingdom getting rebuilt, to see our brothers and sisters off of the streets, out of drug rehab clinics for good, out of prison for good, not dying at the right young age of 9 years old, catching a bullet to the head because you gangbang, for good. Ain't that worth it? You need to reevaluate, because wherever your treasure is, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
That's right.
Make this your treasure. Make this truth your treasure.
That's right.
Put your heart here. And with that, we're gonna get into these security announcements. Yeah, clap it up, clap it up. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They'll be saluted only. They're here to set themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother and sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, Ma'ishur. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department and teach it. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. So now the website is back up and functioning. I know they're still tweaking out a couple of different things, but the website is up and running. It is functioning. They do got the tithes button up on there, so you can pay your tithes, make donations, pay Passover fees right at that website. You can also go to if you got the Zelle app, first name Israelite School, last name UPK, email tithes@isupk.com. You can get in contact with the school near you. So up here, $ all caps, UPK, Minnesota. You can pay tithes, make donations here as well. We can send the tithes on your behalf. It's not like you're paying, tithes like to us, you know what I'm saying? But if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, get in contact with the school near you, and you can work it out that way too. Upcoming holy convocations, Purim.
If they send anything to our attachment, we should specify what it's for.
So if you do send anything over through our Cash App or even on the Zelle app, they've got the note section down there where you can designate what it's for. Donations, priest fund, this, that, or the third, tithes, Passover, all that fun stuff. So Purim, upcoming holy convocations, the water, we got Purim coming up. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. It's gonna kick off Sunday, March 5th at sundown, and it's gonna go until Monday, March 6th at sundown.
Right, and it's likely for the brothers and sisters. The past couple of weeks we had wrong dates, just misinformation, but these dates is going to be in March 5th to the 6th, not February. Right.
So again, get in contact with the school near you if there's any confusion, if you already made some arrangements, and see what you might need for accommodations, or if you have anything to contribute to the Purim. After that, on April 1st at sundown, we got the Lord's Passover. It's gonna be in Raleigh, North Carolina. So again, travel arrangements, hotel arrangements, button it up, man, tighten it up. It's gonna happen fast. And again, it's April 1st, right at the beginning of the month. So you know how fast that thing sneaks up. So any brother wants to be trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That means your boots, your shirt, your pant, headband, and/or scarf. So with that, Imagine, which means stand. We'll find out the done, which means turn and face the east. We say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verse 8 through 13. Abanaw, Shabbat Shema, Kudash, Hayah, Somka, Yahweh, Lakuka, Tab'ah, Zaka, Hayah, Haishak, Rataza, Kawa, Hayah, the Shemaim, the Thundernaw, the Calm, Call, Yawam, Vasalakna, Kabawakna, Kasalakna, Kabawakina, Wala'ah, Tabiana, Ansawam, Ball, Haushana, Mayan, Right, Kaya, Waka, Hamlakwa, Ha'ala, Hata Parak, La'ulam, Aman, in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Pray to bless Israel in the Hebrew.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Barak Lanah.
Barak Lanah.
Bayah Sha'ala.
Bayah Sha'ala.
Bayah.
Bayah.
Safari.
Safari.
Barak.
Barak.
Rafa'ah.
Rafa'ah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Hagun.
At this time, you can say the name of the loved one once. Everyone repeats that name once. If you follow us on social media, you can type in the name of the loved one and send the prayers up with you.
So like time's sake.
That's like it. For time's sake, Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
Bashim Yahushua.
Bashim Yahushua.
Wadamun.
Wadamun.
In English, Lord in the name of Yahushua.
Lord in the name of Yahushua.
Bless us in Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
In the school.
And the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
Loved ones.
Our loved
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
So be it.
So be it.
Blessed be you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of your heaven and earth.
All things live.
All things live.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
To evil and curse.
Sin, evil, curse.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the evil.
To the evil.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Our prophet.
That prophet.
The teacher.
That teacher.
The prince.
That princess.
Priest.
That priest.
Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
To the evil and curse.
And sin, evil, curse.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the evil.
To the evil.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
Treasure of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the
That
school.
refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
Stand to thy sanctuary.
Into thy sanctuary.
Evils and curses.
The evil, curse.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and
To
destruction.
the Edomites.
The Edomites.
The nation.
And the
The
nation.
nation.
And the drug dealers.
The drug dealers.
Court system.
Court system.
Prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
Our government is.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
American Synagogue.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
Pope.
Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Scientology. Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Every nation.
Every nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
High school Matazes.
Cosmopolitan.
Gay men.
Gay men.
Lesbian.
The lesbians.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
That's a space program.
That's a space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the
And
internet.
airways.
And airways.
Cable access channel.
Cable access
And
channel.
radio channel.
Radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the
Of
spirit.
any of our people.
And of the people.
That seek to stop us.
That seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction.
And bring swift
To
destruction.
all the heathen.
To all the
That
heathen.
stand in the way.
That stand in the
And
way.
try to stop us.
Try to stop us.
Broadcasting the words.
Broadcast their word.
About the planet Earth.
Let's turn up.
Let loose all the plagues.
So all the plagues.
Those will go to and fro.
To us
To the
from.
earth and consume it.
To us and consume it.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief
Let the praise in the house of the thief
and the murder.
and the murder.
The Yahusha.
And Yahushua.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Down to flying saucers.
Down to the fire soft.
Punish all the evil.
Punish
all the
That
heathen.
come up against us
that come up against us.
as we speak thy word.
As we
We
speak
speak
our
their word.
Cause to be known by all.
Cause you know by us.
It's the angels that
Let
have done.
the angels turn.
Cause to be spread through the media.
Cause to spread to the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake it that come.
Cause to shake that come.
And Yahusha.
And then I'll
Thank you always.
thank you all. So be it.
Talk to the front. Men of Israel, Magim Shabbat, Magim, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barak Atah.
Yazmutah, hands down. Courtesy salute for the sisters, all to the sisters, men of Israel, Magim Shabbat, Magim, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yazmutah, hands down, class dismissed.